Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Happy April Fool's Day. Today, we are going to continue working on our browser extension that drives people clinically insane. So we'll talk about that for a second. And thank you, Julian, for the resub, 18 months. It's great. But we started working on this last Friday. The idea for it was from last year. But yeah, here's the idea. This is a browser extension with anti-features that will drive the users clinically insane. So these are some of the things that we have already implemented. And then we have a whole list of things that we're going to be working on today. So what this thing does is after you've installed it, it looks like this. And there are various features you can turn on or off. For example, you can add a 1 pixel blur to the page. So if you enable that, any website you visit is all of a sudden just going to get a little bit blurry. Just it's subtle. It's subtle enough to drive somebody completely crazy. And another thing is you can replace all links on the page with a Rickroll. So now literally any link that you click, I might have to refresh the page. Any link you click should Rickroll you like that. That's the idea, imposters. People, you want to install this on a family member's computer and have them question their sanity. We've got one that slows down YouTube videos down to like 0.4. This one's interesting. I think it can use some work, but it was added as a pull request. It adds an accept our pies dialogue to every single page. So every page you go to, it's messed up on this one. But every page you go to, it'll pop this up. This website uses pies, and you have to accept them. I mean, it does nothing. It's just like a play on the fact that all the websites have the accept our cookies. But if you want to make a contribution, you could style this a little bit better, make it look more convincing. The buttons don't work. Also, you could fix that. I don't know why the buttons don't work. Yeah, and there's some other things. We also have like random Discord and Slack notifications. So you turn this on, and then randomly every 5 to 7 minutes, it will play a Discord notification to make them think that they got a Discord message. I'm actually going to turn these on, and there's also a random Slack notification. I'm going to turn these on so we can troll people that are watching the stream. Cool. I've never used Ant Design. I've heard of it. I've seen it. Okay, so now when the Discord notification plays, we should hear it. So that's pretty much it. And then we have a bunch that we're going to try and implement today. And also, you are more than welcome to contribute to this as well. So if you go to github.com/codinggarden/troll-garden, did I turn off the pies? I need to refresh this. You can submit ideas for things for us to implement. Or you can make a pull request and actually implement one of the things. But yeah, that's one I didn't demonstrate, is it redirects Google search results to Bing. This is kind of awesome. I'm going to turn that one on really quick. So if I search Google for JavaScript, it immediately goes to Bing instead. So that one was fun. Cool. I'm gonna update the extension next year, Avi, because right now we're using like the background script stuff for this, and I think next year we'll figure out how to make it work with the V3, because technically it should work for now. Yeah, I saw Stack Overflow filters. Search for JavaScript, reverse a string. And if you haven't seen this, it's pretty funny. Why are there no links to Stack Overflow? Here we go. Oh, that's interesting. I guess you get a random theme when you go there, because I visited this on a different computer and I got the hot dog stand theme. So that's a thing. Cool. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for being here. Let's play the drop game. Is there a top secret one? I don't even know. How do I change the filter? Oh, these. Okay. This one. Yeah, it makes it look like a government document. What's up, Lakshman? Thanks for being here. Yeah, here it is, the hot dog theme, hot dog stand. Great. Um, but hi, happy Friday, April Fool's Day. Has anybody pulled any April Fool's Day pranks they want to tell us about? Um, yeah, blast from the past. Yeah. What was this originally in? Was it like Microsoft Word or I forget what this is from? The hot dog stand. Oh, Windows 3.1. Nice. I like that one. I mean, the terminal one's pretty cool. Oh no, Chief must start. That's the worst. It's like you tell them it's a joke, but like there's some truth to it. Well, hopefully that goes all right for you. Um, but I mean, I'm not quitting Coding Garden, but this is going to be my last stream until mid-May, and that is not an April Fool's Day joke. So today's April 1st. You're not gonna see me again until at least May 16th, maybe even May 23rd. I'm gonna take a break. So enjoy me while you can. Um, so yeah, alerts don't work. What do you mean? Yeah, nice. What's up, Icy Guy? We have any other first timers in here? Yeah, Arav gang, welcome. And Icy Guy. Break. Yeah, I agree. Breaks are very important. I'm long overdue for a break. And it's funny because when I used to stream on YouTube, I actually went like weeks and sometimes even months without doing a stream, and nobody seemed to notice. The thing is, I mean, I've made it pretty. I've been here pretty much every Friday for the past 2 years at least. And Lakshman fooled their mom. She said, "Oh, you got fooled by their mom. You said you had left some soap on your body after the bath. Nice. She got you." Uh, oh, there's a 3D filter on Stack Overflow. That's funny. Does anyone have any 3D glasses? Uh, oh, that's cool to hear, Avi. Yeah, Avi's made a bunch of extensions. They helped us a lot getting set up with the extension that we're working on. Yeah, yeah. Happy April Fool's Day. Yeah. So I don't see it in my list here either. I think I need to also bring up this. And thanks for the follows, everybody that's followed. Appreciate you. Yeah, a bunch of supports. Thank you, the She-Boss, for that gift. Default GN with the 6 months. Julian with the 21 months. Mike Broody with the 18 months. Freak Zombie with 13 months. And yeah, with the sub. Thank you for that sub. Cool. I guess let's get started coding. Is everyone ready? I'll also say this. So if you have ideas for interesting things we can implement on this extension, just open up an issue here on GitHub. I think the first one that we're going to work on today is moving the user's cursor. Oh, no, actually, we're going to do insert random typos and misspellings into the page. So we're going to make it so that all the words on the page get replaced with like typos or misspellings of those words. That one's going to be fun. So that's the first one we're going to do. But like I said, if you have a suggestion for something we can implement, feel free to open an issue there. And also, if you want to make a pull request and actually work on the issue, feel free to open a pull request. You can also, if you're going to implement one of these, comment on the issue and say, I've started working on this, just so we don't duplicate work. And then also, let me give you a tour of the code, because I refactored it since last time. That makes it a lot easier to contribute. So, let's tour the code. Basically, yeah, you can move the cursor. At least I think you can. I'll pull up the documentation for Chrome extensions, but I think it's possible. Cool. So, you see the layout here. If you're making a plugin, it's what we're calling them now, or plugins. You just need to put it into the plugins folder. And there are two types of plugins. There are content plugins and background plugins. So a content plugin is something that basically runs when the page loads and will do something to the page, like blur the page or disable text highlighting or show the accept our pies dialog. These are things that are happening to the page. And then there are also background scripts. So these are scripts that basically you run it once and now it's always running in the background, no matter what page you go to. So things like the sound notifications are in here. And then redirect Google to Bing is not a content script because I didn't want the page to flash. So I actually initially implemented redirect Google to Bing as a content script, but the Google search results would show up first and then it would redirect. But by making it a background script, it's basically always listening to before the page navigates. Did everyone hear that Discord notification? So it's always listening, and then if the page is about to navigate to Google, then it redirects to Bing. So this is a template you can use if you want to do other types of redirecting. Yeah, it gets them every time. Did I just check my Discord? Yeah. That was the extension running in the background. So that's an example of a background script because it's literally running all the time, no matter which tab I have open. Cool. So that's that. And then, so if you want to create an extension, you can basically just like copy one of these and update it to do what you want it to do. And it's going to automatically show up in the menu. Well, you do need to, as long as you import it in here and put an instance in this array, it'll automatically show up in the menu. And so like a really simple one is like replacing all the font on the page with Comic Sans. So this is an example of a content script. You call the constructor and pass in the description text that shows up in the menu that goes there. And then in the run script, you do the thing to the page that you want to do. And in this case, this just simply sets the font family to be Comic Sans. There was a Slack notification. Let's see if that works on here. If we go Comic Sans. Yeah, look at that. Comic Sans everywhere. Comic Sans. So let me turn that off. Cool. Let's get started. And like I said, the first one we're going to do, this extension is it's very rude. Oh, and I will start with the disclaimer that this is for educational and fun pranking purposes only. Don't do malicious things with this extension. If you're thinking like a malicious person or malicious user, you might think, oh, hey, if I can do all of this stuff, I can also probably do some really bad stuff. Like, I'll give you an example. Instead of redirecting Google to Bing, what if I redirect their bank website to my fake bank website? You could do stuff like that, but don't do that. And I will not accept any pull requests that do anything like that. This is purely for fun and not for doing malicious things. And also, we're not going to submit this extension to the Chrome store or the Firefox add-on store. If you want to prank someone with this, you have to know how to install it manually. Okay, the first one we're going to work on is inserting random and typos and misspellings into the page. And I found earlier there's a Wikipedia article on common misspellings. So we're going to start there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this list of common misspellings and literally replace every word with their misspelling. I believe there's a page, most commonly misspelled word in each state. That's funny. Certain states spell things a certain way. People might not notice them, but here's the other thing we could do. I think this will be a separate plugin. We could make it so that when you're typing into a text input or a text area, it will replace words with their misspellings. So you could really get someone, like if they're writing an email or they're responding to a Reddit post, like basically inserting misspellings into their post. There is a place, here we go, for machines. I'm a machine. No, I'm going to implement this for a machine. So this is a Wikipedia article that just has this big list here, which is machine readable. and I'm writing a program, which is a machine. So I'm basically going to take this, and basically it goes from the misspelling to the correct spelling. We're going to reverse it and turn it into a regular expression that will just replace words automatically. So we're going all the way. I'm just going to scroll. I don't know the keyboard shortcut. Oh, here we go. Mm. They probably have this in a downloadable format. But regardless, this is what we want. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to start on a... Whoop! Something happened. There we go. I'm going to create a content plugin. So this is a plugin that runs on the content of the page itself. So I'm going to create a new file. Let's call this... replace words with typos.js. So we need to import in the content plugin base class from lib/content plugin. And then we write a class called replace words with typos that extends the content plugin type. And then we need a constructor. And in the constructor, we call super with the text that should show up in the menu. And this is replace words with misspellings. Like that. I guess I called it with typos. We'll call it the same thing, with misspellings. What's up, Eddie? Thanks for being here. Did I spell misspellings right? Is it not proper camel case because I shouldn't capitalize with double S? Misspellings? You know what? I'm not even going to worry about it, even if I misspell it. And then I need to export this class as default so that it can be imported elsewhere. This needs a unique ID. I'm going to make this 499. And then it has some settings, which is just enabled true or false. Start off as false. Okay, that looks good. I need to import it over here. Like that. And then I just need to put it into this array as an instance. And now that I've done that, it should automatically show up in the menu, and then I can actually write the run script. So I'm running this thing called webext, and it will automatically reinstall the extension or reload it when I've made changes. Let's see if it did that. So if we look at content plugins, it's not loading, which means I made an error. Let's reload the extension and see if an error pops up. Loading module failed. Let's see. Oh, I know what the issue is, and I ran into this earlier. Because this is vanilla JavaScript, we're not using any sort of build tool, and these are vanilla JS modules. You need to include the extension in your import, and that should fix it. Let's reload it, refresh it. Cool, no errors. And now when I click this, under content scripts, we should have replace words with misspellings. Great, so it's there. We just need to actually implement the run script. A couple of words, my thoughts about inx. I don't know what inx is. Don't know. So there is only one S in misspellings. Is that what people are saying? Mrs. Spellings? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it because that's the joke. Okay, yeah, I've never used inx before. I have used Lerna, but I haven't used inx. Cool. So we need a run script because the run or a run function method. This is the thing that will run when the page loads. I need to create a dictionary of misspellings. Let's take a quick stretch. Also, if you haven't noticed, my camera's in a different location. You can see more of my body, which may not be a good thing. I am losing weight though. I've lost like 5 pounds in the past month or so, purely by limiting my calorie intake. Okay, I have to copy this again because I didn't. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chief Mustardo. And um, I know I should be like working out. I'm not even working out, but I think a part of this break that I'm gonna take is to get my life in order and maybe actually take breaks. Okay, and or not take breaks, but actually work out, treat my body right, get some good sleep, all that good stuff. I think I'm just gonna put this dictionary in this file. Um, yeah, it's fine. I don't want to create multiple files. I could technically create a folder and put it inside of there, but it's fine. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna paste it all in like this, and then we're gonna replace every occurrence of this. So here comes a regular expression. Are you ready? We want to replace every occurrence of anything followed by an arrow followed by anything. So we're gonna find this everywhere in our file. And you can see when I turned on regular expression search, it found it. And we want to replace that with quotes around the second match with a colon and then quotes around the first match. Let's see what we get. Nice. Nice. And so now we basically have a big old object of replacers. So I'll say replacements is this. And then we got to, I mean, this is unfortunate that we have to scroll all the way down here. And the words that have apostrophes in it, we're going to have to manually escape. Oh, there's a comma separated list on some of these. You know what? I might just remove the apostrophe ones because maybe I won't. I do need to make sure that all of these are oh, I forgot commas. Oh, you're totally right. I forgot commas. Yeah, and I need the ones that are comma separated to be their own entries as well. Okay, here we go. Well, we got to do that. We got to do this again because I did forget the commas. All right. That's something you might not know if you go to this find replace menu and just press the up arrow. It'll go to your previous replacement. So we want to replace this with a comma and yeah, I guess if I want to find a quote on both sides, I can't think of the regular expression that would replace quotes and the word itself. I think we're just going to do it manually. First, replace the quotes. Actually, yeah, that's a great idea. So replace a quote, not a regular expression, with slash quote. There you go. Replace all of them. Now we replace that with that. No results. Oh, regular expression. Great. But it definitely, so all of that looks fine, great, but it messed this up because it replaced it in the entire file, which is fine because this is an easy fix. I can just remove the slashes here. Cool. So now we have all of our replacement. Oh, I need to remove the slashes up here too. And now we have all of our replacements. Great. Great. Though we do have multiple entries. So that's interesting that some of these are comma separated. And then some of them just have multiple entries. It definitely would have been easier to just use double quotes. You're right, Acid Spark. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's what we got to do. I've one last time is so now because we have multiple entries with the same key, we can't exactly do that. So I'm going to make it an array of arrays, and then we're going to create our own map out of it. And a map will go from one word to the possible things that we can replace it with. So here's what we're going to do. We'll do another regular expression. Find anything followed by the colon. Followed by anything. And replace that with an array that has number 1 in it and a comma number 2 in it. Number 1 surrounded by quotes. I always wanted to be a comedian, but I was afraid people would laugh at me. That's funny. That's not what I wanted. Ignore the white space. Great. This is kind of what I wanted. The extra well, it only needs quotes if it doesn't have quotes before it. You know, we're making this a lot harder than it needs to be. But we're going to go back to what we had before we did all that. Okay. We're back to this, and we're going to replace it with this. Now this is going to be easier. So go from a word to an arrow to a word and replace that with an array of 2 strings. Let's see. Great. Great. And so now this is going to be an array of arrays, and then we will manually turn it into like a map or a dictionary that we can use to do find and replace. So that's there. That's there. Awesome. Why is it complaining about this? Comma expected? Really? So all of the features listed in the README here are completed. Though if you want to fix bugs or make them better, you're welcome to do that. All of the features here have not been implemented yet, and then any open issue has not been implemented yet. But really, why is my linter complaining? Expected a comma? But there is a comma. You know what? I think there's just so much that it can't keep up. Well, I've got square brackets. Though, you know what? We did the wrong replacement. Because now it goes from the misspelling to the correct spelling, but that's fine. We can take care of that. Let me just make sure that the code is still running and the extension is still loading. Yeah, no errors here, so I think we're good. Because this is an array of arrays. See, it seems right. I don't know why my linter is messing up, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to reduce this into a map. So we get each misspelling. Well, actually, we get the lookup table, followed by each misspelling, followed by all of the correct spellings, like this. And then we're going to reduce that into a map. Cool. We return the map on every iteration. And what we need to do is we need to grab all of the correct spellings. So the correct spellings we're going to split on a comma space. And that's going to give us an array of all the correct spellings. And then we're going to for each over that. And that's going to give us the spelling. And we want to put that into the map. So we'll say lookup dot set spelling with an array or itself. And then we'll say lookup at that spelling. We're going to push the misspelling. Is that right? Yes. That is right. Because, for instance, if there's only going to be one entry for abilities, but it will have a key that has these two inside of it. Seems right. Seems right. I'm not going to worry about misspelled variable names just because I'm already having a hard time as it is. So I think that should do it. And then let's just log out. Yeah, I don't have any autocomplete. My editor is really struggling here. Let me try just closing and reopening that file. And I'm going to log the replacements. Let's see what happens. Let's reload the extension. Here they are. So we have ourselves a map that has the correct spelling as an entry, and then the value are all of the misspellings. Is that right? Is that how you spell hypocrisy? Apparently it is. I didn't know that. So the ones on the left are the correct spellings, and the ones on the right are the possible misspellings. Yeah, we've done it. Look at that. First try. First try. So we have basically a map of over 3,000 words. And their misspellings. Great. Okay, so now what we need is we need a regular expression that is going to match against any one of the possible correct spellings. So we'll do something like this. We'll say we want all of the keys. Well, there were two Halloweens. I saw that too. There were two Halloweens. There was a. I'm not gonna be able to find it again. Was it near the bottom? I saw it too. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So this is actually somehow a correct spelling, but then there's also this spelling. I don't know what this one is though. And what's up, Transiner? Welcome in. Oh, that is a valid spelling of Halloween. Look, we're learning stuff today. We're learning. And actually, Transiner, I see you're a partner. I don't think I've ever seen your stream. What do you do? Thanks for being in here. Cool. You've done some Apex Legends. Okay. Great. Now we need a regular expression that matches against the correct word. And really, what all I wanted to do was to say replacements dot it's a map, so we want all of the entries and then we're going to join that all together with a pipe, because that'll give us a regular expression that has all of the words as an or. And then we'll have the replacement regex is a new regular expression with that inside of it. We'll also do it globally in case insensitive, like that. Yeah. There's a bug right now in my overlay. There's a couple of people that doesn't show their... Yeah, you can see Mark Boots, it's not showing theirs. And if I remember, I think it's like a user named Stony Eagle. It's not showing... I have to fix it. It's a bug. It's my fault. It's not you. And now we can look at this regular expression that will run against any text we find like this. So that's an issue. Why is there commas there? Oh, I know why. It's because one of the first entries doesn't have spaces between the commas. Good call, Acid Spark. So split on just a comma and then trim it. Like that. All right. Reload the extension. And now it did the exact same thing. Yeah, that's a good idea, Llama Boys. I just wanted it to be... You want it, you want... I want these features to not be so obvious, because I think anyone that had this installed that came across all these misspellings, and like, let's say they're reading an article on the New York Times or something, to them, they'd think to themselves, they'd be like, how did all of these misspellings get through the editor? This is crazy. And they would think that. But if it was like a wrong, like a completely wrong misspelling, they would be more likely to think something is up. Oh, it returns keys and oh, you know what it is? Wait, but replacements itself is an array of arrays. You're right. Yeah, somebody said it. We want keys here. We don't want entries. We want the keys. We only want the keys. That's how we were messing up. We actually only want the keys, because the keys are the correct spelling. Here we go. This is the winner. There we go. That's what I want to see. So now any one of these words that is matched, we will then have a replacer for it. That's the key. Okay. So, at this point, we're on our way because when we run the script, we basically need to look at all of the text on the page. And I might just do on like DOM content loaded. So I'm going to add an event listener for DOM content loaded. So this runs after the whole page is like ready to go. And then, I mean, the easiest thing to do would just to be like document.body. Inner HTML. This will probably break a lot of pages if we do this, but we should be able to see it work if we do this. So we do inner. Is it like that? I don't have any autocomplete, so I'm flying blind. We could say replace with our replacement regex, but then that gives us back a function that has the content and then the individual match, I believe. And then we want to return our replacements at that given match. Let's just see what this does. It's gonna break the web pages. We can find a better way to do this. I mean, really, I mean, we could just say the like the inner text or the text content, but that would also break the page. But I just want to see what happens. So we'll reload the extension. Let me clear the errors here. Reload the extension. For some reason, it can't load the MP3 files, but that's fine. We are going to turn on replace words with misspellings. And then we need a page that actually has misspellings on it. And I also want to make sure that I'm doing this replacer function right. Oh, the Wikipedia page. Yeah, let's check that. It's not working. But if it's working, then we should see it. And actually, I believe it's is it document instead of window? Maybe that was it. Okay, so it is running. Am I doing this event listener right? Let's look at some of the other plugins. They're doing window. It's not running. That's fine. We'll do it both when the DOM content loads and we'll just call it. So we'll make a function called replace that does the hard work, and then we'll just call replace right here. But we'll also just call replace when this run function gets run. Cool. Undefined it. That's funny. Okay, but it's not working. Because I logged the wrong thing. I did the wrong thing. This is actually the match. So we can just do this. Yes. Yes. Okay. So you can see it. Nice. So now every correct spelling got replaced with a misspelling. And since so the right hand side would have been the correct spellings. And all of these got replaced. We literally only have misspellings on this page now. So that's great. Though I do, yeah. Look, we've completely broken the web page. So I think what I'll do, like this may not be perfect, but I think what I'll do is I'll find every like div, p tag, and span, and replace, or maybe every. I don't know. Can anybody think of how we can replace the text without actually modifying the page itself? So if you do inner text, that will replace. It won't exactly work because that will actually replace entire elements. Let's see what this does. I think it tried to replace undefined with and. Fidden. I need to turn the extension off. Um, let's see what this one does. Find all text nodes? Is there a way to do that? Yes, we've broken the web page. Let me disable this extension for now. Searches for regular expression matches in a given DOM node and replaces or wraps each match with a node or piece of text that you can specify. This selects a specific element, though. I think that's the way to go, Pronian. Like, we can basically do this. We'll say document.query selector all. Like, literally give me every single element on the page, and then we'll look at each one and see if its type is a text node. And if its type is a text node, we'll do this. We'll say like element dot text content equals the content replaced. However, how do we check if it is a text type? So if element dot text node. Let's look this up. Query selector all doesn't select text nodes? Why is my editor suggesting this? If this dot node type equals node dot text node. I think this is what we want. Let's just log the node type. And we'll log the text node type. Parse the DOM with fragments. Load this. Enable that. Yeah. Everything was of node type 1 and not node type 3. which means that this query selector all didn't work, which somebody mentioned. I mean, I could recursively look at every single node. Like I could look at document.body.child nodes, and for every one of its child nodes, look at it until I find all of the text nodes. Let's see if there's an easier way, but if not, then we'll do that. JavaScript select all text nodes. Create tree walker. This is what we need. This is what we need. So we're gonna just put this little function here. We'll say get all text nodes, and then instead of element, we're gonna just walk document.body. And then we can do get all text nodes for everyone. This is it. This is the winner. Nice. That's the one. It's gonna it makes the page really slow. But I think it's probably because all the logging I'm doing. Honestly, this is it. And we do need to instead of returning the entire array, get a random one. We'll just do it really quick. So misspellings is going to be getting it from the map. So that's going to be an array. And then we just want a random one. So we'll grab a random index. It could be length 0, but that's totally fine. Math.floor of math.random. Times misspellings.length. And then we just return misspellings at that random index. This is the winner. All right. Clear the console. Reload the extension. What's up, Sally the Goose? Thanks for being here. All right. Good to go. Refresh the page. And I think we've done it. List of common misspellings for machines. Did we do it? I can't tell. I don't think we did it. It worked for some, but I guess this is just one. This is one giant text node. It's a pre-tag. I don't think it found this one. Yeah, I'll give us some logs. So like this. What is node filter? Show text. We got this code from Stack Overflow. I mean, it seems to mostly work. It just didn't find that pre-tag. We're gonna rename this to node. We'll rename this to nodes. And then we'll rename this to walker. But what's a website that has like articles and stuff? I guess we could do dev.to. That's a developer articles. Um, and let me reload the extension. Let's make sure it's enabled. Replace words with misspellings. Great. Um, running misspelling replacer. Done replacing words. That never logged. Why did that never log? Um, do we have the latest? I thought the same thing along with Chris Walker, Texas Ranger. Um, getting all text nodes. Replacing text for element. I'm going to remove the DOM content loaded as well. Oh yeah, this is the first thing we tried, but this basically breaks the entire page because it'll remove any event listeners. It'll like replace certain elements. We don't want to do that. Um, I mean, this is what I thought, kind of like a recursive solution. I've never used a tree walker before. I think the tree walker is not finding the nodes that we need it to find. Um, so we're gonna go with the solution. A node iterator. What's the difference between a node iterator and a tree walker? Oh well. Um, tree walkers. Yeah. So for those of you that have just joined us and haven't been here since we started working on this thing, we already tried inner HTML. We already tried text content. It basically breaks the entire page if we do that, because reasons. So what we need to do is literally iterate through every node in the DOM and only do the replacement if it is specifically a text node. So elements and document nodes get replaced. And then really this code's right here is what we want to be right here. Why is didn't like that? What do you not like about that? Great. All right. Let's try to be crazy. And so at this point, we could just do, I believe, replace in text with document.body. And then this is element. Okay, here we go. Let's reload the extension. My linter, again, for those of you just joining us, my linter does not like that we have this giant array of replacements in here. It's basically broken because we have thousands of lines of replacements of misspellings to spellings, and so everything else we've been having issues with. But regardless, let's reload the extension, make sure there are no errors. Great. If we reload this page, replacing text for element body. Oh, we want node. And this should be node. This is it. We've done it. We haven't done it. I don't know why this specific element, for some reason, is not being detected as a text node. Let's see. So I know that it worked at least on the title. Because look at this list of common misspellings for machines. This worked. It replaced correctly spelled words with misspellings, but for some reason it skipped over this pre-tag. And I want to know why. So it specifically is looking at node.node type. And the node type is 1. And does it have child nodes? Really, I think we just want this to be the default case with no check. Because basically, if it's not a text node, we need to keep iterating. That's the winner. Here we go. Here we go. It didn't work. It didn't work. I don't care about that. Do we need a break statement there? This will replace the entire text of the text node. Yeah, and so text nodes are new for a lot of people. You may not realize it, but in the DOM, even if you have like a div tag that says like let's say has content inside of it or a p tag. So let's say, so if we look at this specific element right here, this is a p tag, right? And when you look at it in the element inspector, and really we want an element that just has text like this. So this is an em tag and it has text inside of it. When you're selecting the element, you would just select the element with the tag em. However, the actual text is in a even deeper node or a child node called a text node. So like, even though I can do like text content right here, that's fine. But technically, if you look at the nodes itself, so if you look at child nodes, there is one child node in there that is the actual text content itself. So a text node specifically holds the text, and that's like the lowest, one of the lowest level elements in the DOM itself. What if it has text and child nodes? Well, it iterates, this code specifically iterates over all of the children. And any child that is a text node gets replaced, and any child that is not a text node, we further iterate to find any text nodes within it. So yeah, we already tried a node iterator. So we tried a node walker and a node iterator. We're going with this recursive solution. So the type is always 1 here. Can you have more than a single text node to a single node? I believe so, yeah. Machinks. Yeah, and we determined that a pre-tag does have a text node inside of it. It's just not finding it. Here's what I just determined and what we're trying to fix. So let's say it comes across this specific pre-tag here. And we are iterating the entire body. So we're looking at body.child nodes. We're looking at every single node there. Eventually we're going to come across like the content node, and then eventually we're going to come across this node. And its node type is 1, which means we're going to further look at all of its child nodes. So if we do temp0.child nodes, and if we look child nodes at 0, its node type is 3, which is what we're expecting. But for some reason, it's not dialing into that node. Yeah, and we already have a regex regular expression. So the regular expression is working. We know that's working, but specifically we want to find all the text nodes and replace the text there. We don't want to replace them on individual elements. Yeah, it stops right here. It doesn't find any other nodes after that. Subpages. Like the actual content is a div, and that div is a child of the body. Let's see. Are we throwing an exception right here or something and like we're not seeing it? Is that what's happening? And if so, why aren't we seeing that? It still gets me every day. Yeah, so for those of you also just joining us, we have a plugin running right now that is playing a random Discord notification at a random interval. Can't access property length misspellings is undefined. Why didn't we see that error earlier? Maybe we did, we just ignored it. But that's the issue. That's the issue. Like it stops because it it runs into an error. Okay. Let's log with the matches to see right before we get that error. Oh, because it's case insensitive? Why is this complaining? We've done it. We've done it. Okay. I'm gonna, I guess I'll leave that try catch there. I'm gonna remove all these console logs because that really slows the page down because it's looking at literally every single node. I'm gonna remove the try catch. I'm confident in our code now that we don't need the try catch anymore. This is it. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna close that, refresh the page. It's taking a while. Oh no, it worked. It worked. Let's see how long it takes. So you see list of common misspellings for machines. It's quick. It's quick. And then we should see. No, it didn't work. You know, we're not really worried about pre-tags because how often are you going to come across a pre-tag? Yeah, so this is fun because you see like the and created and returned and the is because there's no space. Oh, well, possibly. What to show? I think this is working well enough because really we're kind of only worried about it working like on pages like this that are articles, people reading around on the web, how to find the two or more numbers. Programming in general does not require knowledge. This is fine. I am okay with this implementation. I've been working on it for over an hour now. I think it's fine. This is totally fine. This is just enough to drive people crazy. I think it's hilarious. And I guess if you went to a Wikipedia article on like April Fool's Day, for example, there's not a lot of pre-tags, so we're gonna get some misspellings in here. Um, yeah, I like the misspelling for the. It's the. Uh, relatively common. Here gets or there gets replaced with her. Netherlands also got replaced. This is perfect. This is totally fine. Now, I will mention if you're implementing these plugins yourself, you technically can implement a cleanup function, but you don't have to. So, like for example, our page blur plugin, the cleanup function removes the filter of the page. It would be really hard to reverse what we just did, so I'm not going to implement a cleanup function. Yeah, I'm not going to implement a cleanup function. And yeah, that's the other thing is this only works for English. But this is great. We've done a thing. Let me update the README, and then we'll start working on another one. I'll also look at any pull requests that people have submitted while I've been working on this. Yeah, I'll for those of you just joining us, I'll show you all the things that it can do. So this has now been implemented. Replace words with common misspellings. Great. Cool. I'm going to push that up to GitHub, and then I'll show you all the plugins, and then we'll also take a look at the any pull requests that we've gotten. Let's see. Okay, only 2 so far. This is funny. Randomly play a yawn sound. Um, cool. So this is the plugin. You can install it, and then there are 2 types. Well, this is the extension, and it has various plugins, is what we're calling them. So the one we just worked on is replace words with misspellings. And that happens on any page. This one was funny. I didn't demonstrate this one earlier, but this adds a dead pixel to any page. I don't know if we can. Oh yeah, there it is. You see right there. There's this little red dot, and it's just always there. It'll appear in a random place. And then also we have the play random notification sound. So you just heard a Slack notification. That wasn't real. That was our extension. Actually, I don't see the dead pixel. Does anybody see the dead pixel? Is that it? Maybe that's just on my screen. I can't tell. Bear sample, just check Slack again. Yeah. Lower right. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. You look at it. It's just okay, yeah, so that's the dead pixel. This other one, the pixel blur is so subtle because it happens gradually over 5 seconds, and now all of a sudden you just like can't read the page. So this is great. The pixel blur. What else do we have? Replace all links with a rickroll. I think we could be more subtle about this one because right now it literally replaces every single link, which would get extremely annoying, but we could make it like 10% of the time and it replaces the link. We could. I'm not going to do that though. I want to work on other plugins. We've got slow down YouTube playback speed. So anytime a YouTube video loads, it slows it down to 0.4. This one's funny. It adds this, please accept our pies. Literally every website you visit, it says, please, this website uses pies. And then you have to accept them. Yeah. Well, a lot of these were actually pull requests that I merged in. And then I did some updating to the UI to like separate it by type. This is fun. Comic Sans literally everywhere. So like no matter what website you go to, it's all in Comic Sans. I accept the pies. Come on. Does misspellings work on the pies pop up? Maybe. It really would only do it if it ran afterwards. I don't know if it does or not. And are there any commonly misspelled words in the pies dialogue? No. Yeah, I agree, Mayor, but I'll say this. Because I don't want it to be too easy to wreak havoc, it's your responsibility to clone this repo down and make the subtle adjustments. I think that's how I can cover myself, is like make it really, really obvious, and then if you want to make it less obvious, you are more than welcome to do that yourself. Oh yeah, and disable text highlighting is fun because now they literally can't. Like I'm trying to select content, and I can't. I literally cannot select. And then this is a fun one: redirect Google search results to Bing. So if you turn that on, if you try searching Google for something, it goes to Bing instead. So that's cool. Let me disable all of these. Yeah. And let's merge some pull requests. Randomly play a yawn sound. So they added a background plugin that loads the sound, 2 different yawning sounds. And then we'll play one or the other every between 9 and 15 minutes. Cool. There's a lot of I don't really do the redemptions as much anymore. No. Um, so this is cool. I think it's totally fine. I don't. I want to hear the yawns, honestly, but I'm just gonna approve it. Um, and I need to merge it like this. Um, do I have to do anything specific to commit these changes? Commit merge. There we go. I'm sorry to hear that, Refactorer, but it is April Fool's Day. It is April Fool's Day. um, cool. And then this is another one that just added the plugin ID. So one thing we're doing is every plugin that you create needs to have a unique ID. And so Omar added a pull request that just puts the IDs in here so that we don't duplicate an ID, which I'm okay with. I mean, there's probably a better solution. Like, technically, um, I don't know if we could use like a GUID as the ID instead. I think that's actually what we might do. I've decided that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to close that pull request, and then I'm actually just going to replace all of the IDs with GUIDs and then make that a requirement. Is there a better flow for code reviews so you can try it out and be able to accept, reject it without messing around with the master brand? Oh yeah, I mean, you would do it. You'd have to do it all locally. Like if I really wanted to try that code, I would actually check out a branch, pull those changes in, and test it. The code looked fine, so it seemed good enough. So we'll do that. And then now we actually can test out the yawning one. Random yawning. Cool. Is there a way to generate a GUID, global unique identifier, in Node without installing a package? A UUID? Crypto. Great. Let's check this out. We'll say Node, I want you to require in crypto. And specifically the random UUID function. And I want you to invoke it. And I want you to console log that. Node.js, please. Boom. All right, so we've got ourselves a random ID. I'm just going to replace all of the IDs in every single plugin with a GUID instead of a number. Cool. And for those of you that watched last Friday but are just now tuning in, we've refactored this so that every single plugin is in its own file, like this. So like we have our accept our pies function. Samit, I mean, I've been live for about an hour and a half, so yeah, you're a little late. And actually, I could pass that through to PB copy, which is I think that's a Mac specific thing. Yeah, look at that. Now it's just on my clipboard. Well, the thing is, I don't want it to be random when the code runs because it needs to be static because this ID is used to store the settings of like enabled or disabled. So it can't just be generated like when the app starts up. It just needs to be globally unique within the app. mean, they're all unique. So seems to be working. There's that. And that. Yeah, exactly, Acid Spark. You'd have to be one lucky person to actually get a duplicate with these. Um, and even if you did get a duplicate, you could just change one letter, and it'd probably be random at that point, or different enough. You've created a package which gives random values that could be used as an ID. Nice. I like these global unique identifiers because they're pretty standard. But I think that should do it. And now that they all have unique IDs, and the IDs are actually different than before, when the plugin reloads, everything should be disabled because it has a new ID. Yeah, so now everything's disabled because of the new IDs. But I'm gonna go ahead and commit and push this up. Cool. Cool. And hello, Coding Garden fan. When is the music stream? I'll probably make some music today. I'm not opposed to that. Cool. This is your first npm package? Nice. I'll check it out. What kind of IDs do you get? Oh, like an alphanumeric string. Nice. Very cool. In the past, I've used I think they're called like snowflakes. Simple Flakes. I think Simple Flakes is a version of it, but these are interesting. This is actually a similar to what Discord uses for all of its message IDs and user IDs, but they're like somewhat predictable, but also like not repeatable. Yeah, that's the thing. Didn't hear the yawn yet. Oh, it also got disabled, and it will only happen at a minimum of once every 9 minutes. So that's a thing. Okay, that's there. Do we have any other pull requests? Is anyone in the chat working on one of the other features? Throw a message if you are. Let's take a break. Actually, we'll take a music break. Why not? And then we'll decide which one we're gonna do next. Let's vote on which feature we implement next. What's up, Buby? Good to see you too. Thanks for being here. I know who you are. I see. Kittens. Oh yes, we could do the kitten image replacement. Replace all images with kittens. Cool. I saw your picture. Like, yeah, I know you. Okay. So replace all images with kittens. Move cursor randomly. What's one of the other ones? Repeat letters in a key down event. So repeat letters in inputs. So like you're typing and then it accidentally like will type a double letter. And then let's look at some of the other suggestions people have. Tilt the window by 1 degree is fun. It's Also like probably like 0.5 degree or upside down text. But watch what happens if I just do this. Document.body.style.transform is rotate 1 degrees. It's just subtle. It's just subtle enough. Oh look, our is our replacer running? JavaScript? Oh, I think this page has just been open for a while. But it's just subtle enough because the page is just slightly rotated. If you combine that with what do you call it? Blurring. Did it do it? It didn't do it. Yeah. So it's tilted 1 degrees. And then it's blurred. Okay, and then let's pick one more. Yeah, we'll randomly translate the page. Cool. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to vote while we take a music break. So vote on what we should implement next. What about static UUIDs? Um, yeah, that actually would work. Um, and, and for those of you seeing a blurry screen, it's not you. It's the extension. Um, that actually would work because we could use the storage plugin to generate the UUID when the plugin loads for the first time, and then not generate them again. That actually would work. That's actually a better idea. I'm gonna add that to the to-do list. Cool. Oh yeah, you're totally right, Wired Devil. We could just use the name of the extension itself. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's way easier ways to do all the things we wanted to do. All right, let me get all my music stuff hooked up, and then I'll make a song real quick. little less reverb. I think you just heard the Discord notification too. Okay, what are we doing? I need to disable noise suppression and the limiter. Check, check. I don't know if that changed. Do I sound different? I don't know if that changed anything. Regardless, let's make a song. So this is going to be completely improvised, not planned. We're going to make a song over the next 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get back to coding. Someone give me a BPM, a beats per minute, anywhere between 80 and 150. Give me a number. First number wins. 95 it is. I saw 95 first. Here it comes. And that sounds like this. That's it. That's all. Thank you for listening. All right, now back to coding. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Um, and there goes another Discord notification. um, so usually I don't save these at all. So all of that was completely improvised. I mean, it's not like it's amazing or anything, but it was. I did come up with it on the spot. But I also delete it right after making. Yeah. So all that to say, never again. That song is gone. Um, need to re-enable my audio filters. Cool. All right, now back to coding. Can you hear me all right? I did have to like swap out mics and stuff like that. And does anybody remember what won? Because I don't remember what won. Move the cursor randomly. Okay, this one will be fun. So if you're just joining us, and if you found me in the music category, thanks for hopping in. I actually write code here on the Coding Garden. And what we're doing is we're working on a extension for Firefox and Google Chrome that will drive people crazy. So I can show you some of the things that it can do right now. So for example, if you enable the page blur plugin, now any web page that someone goes to will just be slightly blurred. They'll think that they're losing their vision. You can see that it gradually starts to blur. You've been hearing it in the background. It'll randomly play a Discord or a Slack notification. And the one we worked on before the break was replacing words with misspellings. You're having trouble adding it to Firefox. I'll show you how real quick. I want to disable that. But yeah, we added this random misspellings. So you can see it did it on the page. So I can't fit in the API fail. I know that you didn't type that, but it looks like a misspelling in my browser. Cool. So in Firefox specifically, you can go to settings. Joke's on you. It's blurry anyways. So go to settings and then extensions and themes. And then you want to click this setting icon and go to debug add-ons. And that will actually let you load the thing like this. You go to load temporary add-on and then choose the manifest.json file that's in the extension folder. So if you clone the repo down, you're going to get this, but you specifically want to go into the extension folder and select manifest.json. And then it'll pop up here, and it should show up here, or it'll show up in your overflow menu. Yeah, I haven't heard the yawning either. I don't know what's up with that. We can test the sound really quick. Yeah, let me do that. It's probably really loud. That's funny though. Like if you're just browsing the web and all of a sudden you hear a yawn, you're like, where did that come from? Yeah, there's a suggestion for a random fart sound right now. Did anybody yawn at home? Okay. So we did that. The poll was moving the cursor randomly. So that's what we're going to implement next. We're going to make it so that as you're using the web browser, all of a sudden your like cursor will move a little bit. Close everything else. This, I think this is going to be a background plugin. Yeah, we'll make it a background plugin. And I'm just going to copy one of the existing ones. We're going to call this move cursor randomly. Here we go. I hate it. The random notifications really get people. Cool. So we've got a random ID. There was the random yawn. You need to do export default move cursor randomly. Cool. And I don't think we'll need a listener function here. We'll just do it all within the run. Right here. And then we need to import this into our main index file. So that it loads in the menu. So right here, we'll just say a new instance of move cursor randomly. Like that. Okay. At this point, it should be appearing as a background script. Cool. And now we need to figure out how to actually move the cursor randomly. I was looking in the Chrome extension documentation. What you talking about, monkey? What are you doing? Are you playing guitar right now? Like gent? But I don't think it's spelled like that. It's like degent, like this, right? It's a musical subgenre of progressive metal. Okay. Here we go. We want the API overview. Where am I going to find that? API reference. And then, so I was looking at this earlier today, and I specifically found one that had to do. I don't think does it. It didn't say cursor. It's like I am me input. Yeah, Chrome.input.ime, an API to implement a custom IME for Chrome. This allows your extension to handle keystrokes, set the composition, and manage the candidate window. But I believe this also has a function in it called like set cursor position. This. And that specifically will let us set the cursor position. So, yeah, there you go, monkey. You spelled it right. This is what we want to do, but we want to do it at a random interval. I just want to see if this works. So the parameters has the candidate ID, the ID of the candidate to select. So we need to figure out how to get a candidate ID and a context ID. So this is going to be an object that has a candidate ID and a context ID. And the callback, I believe, is optional, so we don't even need to do anything after the mouse cursor is moved. And then this is literally just an object. It's not, doesn't have the word parameters in it. So it's going to look something like this. How do we specify the cursor position, though? So the background functions run once. They're not tied to any specific browser tab. It's just running in the background. So all of the ones that we have are basically they run like a set interval or a set timeout, and it's just running all the time. So it fires off a set interval, and now that just is going in the background regardless of what tab you have open. I'm going to search the web to see if anybody has an example of this, because their documentation isn't really showing me good examples. Like I know, like if I look at their initial examples they have at the top here, this gets a context ID when it's focused. Like I think we need something like this. And then we can actually pass the context ID in. Like that. Or ID. So when this, I guess this window is focused, we get the specific context, and then we can, actually we could just do this. We'll set it to a specific location. I don't know what the candidate ID is, and I do kind of want to maybe see if they have samples. Examples. API. Let's see what these search results found for us. What's up, Card House? We're working on trying to set the cursor position. Though, actually, I don't know if this is going to work how I expect it to, because it doesn't really look like set cursor position even accepts like an XY. I mean, so maybe this isn't doing what we expect it to do. Yeah, I'll just, if you remind me, Pranjal, I'll do it. I'll walk through how everything is working and hooked together. Oh, I think you're right, Acid Spark. Because, I mean, specifically, we're looking at input, and I think that is setting the. You might be right. It's setting the location of it. Okay. One thing we could do instead is to actually put like a fake mouse on the page. That's probably as best we could do. Or we could hide the mouse randomly. Um, yeah, I was thinking that because we're running in the context of an extension, we could move the mouse, but I don't think we can. So here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to hide the cursor randomly. So that as you're clicking around, all of a sudden your mouse will just disappear. We're pivoting. That's what we're going to do instead. Yeah, exactly. That's literally all we have to do. And actually, this is going to be a content script now instead of a background script because it runs, it's going to set the style of the specific page that it's running on. So in here. And then now it's going to do something like we're going to set a timeout for 10 seconds from now. To hide mouse. And then hide mouse is going to be a function that sets the cursor property. So document.style. Or document.body. .style.cursor is none. And that's important. So it should override anything else. Cool. And then we'll have a cleanup function that sets it back. And actually, for now, we'll just do it to make sure that it's working, and then we can set it to turn on randomly. So we now have that. And if we go in here, we need to refresh the thing. Because it should be under content now. Oh, I know why. So we're still extending from background plugin instead of content plugin. And content plugins have a type of content which makes them show up under that specific tab. Like this. Now it should be here. Or not. You can reload the plugin. Oh. I broke it. Yeah, I broke it. That should do it. Yeah, I did the wrong thing. Now we reload it. And it's still in the wrong spot. Or did I not replace? I didn't. Okay, it's one of those days. Yeah, you're all right. You're totally, you're all very right. Here we go. Hide cursor. So now that that's enabled, it should, and it doesn't. If we look at the body though, that didn't get run. The user needs to click something to activate? Possibly? However, I didn't even see the style loaded onto the body, because what we should see is something like this. Style equals cursor none. Oh, it got replaced. Can you not? You can have a style tag on the body, can't you? Hmm. Oh, there we go. It doesn't like the important piece. Does it work like... No. I guess we just can't have important. Pointer lock controls? What's that do? Never heard of it. I see stuff for 3JS. The pointer lock API. I have no mouse. I can't see my mouse. If I shake it really fast, I can see it, but otherwise it's gone. Cool. So request pointer lock. And then... Will this actually stop the... So, as you can see, I can still do things even though I can't see the cursor. Will the pointer lock even prevent them from doing anything? We've written a simple pointer lock demo to show you how to use it to set up a simple control system. All right, I need to see my cursor. When you click the canvas, the pointer lock is used to remove the mouse pointer and allow you to move the ball directly with the mouse. It's not working. Unless that was just a picture. Is this actually a canvas? It's an it's an image. I thought it was the... I got fooled. Here we go. mdn.github.io has control of your pointer. That is actually how we could move the mouse, I believe, right? They're going to see that notification on like every website they go to. But I think we could move their mouse that way, right? And then I have to press escape to get out of there. This is cool. I like this. Is there... How do I do it? And Mega Terabit, thank you very much for that Prime sub. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, here's our accept our pies dialogue. Oh, we had a bunch of supports I missed. And thank you all for the follows as well. Rafalu with the 8 months, Unhot with the 24 months, thank you very much. Marak with the Prime, Refactor with the 24 months, along with Chris with the 12 months, and Delacal with the 2 months, and Megaterabit with the Prime, thank you. Yeah, it is unfortunate about the browser message, but I think it's just annoying enough um, that it'll be fine. How do we get the pointer lock? We need to enter pointer lock, request pointer lock. Oh, but it has to be a canvas. Oh, no, any element. So we could do it on the body. Um, do we have it enabled? Um, Philippe Carlson is saying create a transparent div and then lock it to that. Um, oh, so the pointer would be locked to that element. Actually, I don't even know if we need this because we're gonna do cursor none anyways. It was a good thought, but I think we're still just gonna do this, which seems to work because it would lock it to either the body or the transparent element anyways, and then we could just set that element to have cursor none, right? Am I making sense? Though it does prevent the mouse from even going outside of the window, which is pretty crafty, right? Because you'll see when I've done this now, like my mouse can't even leave the page itself. That alone is like trolley behavior. I'm stuck on the page. I literally could not click out of that canvas without pressing escape. I keep forgetting that I have no cursor right now. So can I not request pointer lock on the can I not do this on the body? Does it have to be on an element? Let's see. I'm gonna try creating a transparent element, or yeah, like a div that's on top of the whole page. I don't think I want that. But I do want position. I can do it like that. So create an element that takes up the whole page, position it on top of everything, and then request the pointer lock. see what happens. One benefit of that is they literally can't select anything on the page because it's definitely there. Look, that's the element we created. They can't even click links. That's kind of hilarious, honestly. But let's see. Request for pointer lock was denied because element.request pointer lock was not called from inside a short-running user-generated event handler. Ah, I see. We need to listen for a click. And then after they've clicked, or I guess we could also do like a, can we do mouse move? Okay, for a second I couldn't move. I can't see my mouse. And I'm like way over here. That is very trolly. So like I click and then all of a sudden Chrome.com has taken control of your pointer. And I don't even see my mouse anywhere. Like I can't yeah, I couldn't even like move my mouse over here. So that's working. That's it. Okay. So would it work on mouse move? Yeah, it won't. It has to be click. But which means we can do it on the body. We shouldn't need this transparent element. No, exactly. It's going to blame the URL that you're on. So now a page works like normal, but then if I like try to select text, now all of a sudden I can't use my mouse at all. That's amazing. I'm stuck inside the browser. Cool. And we're writing this in JavaScript. So what we're gonna do now is we won't do it immediately. After the user has at least like clicked on the page, then we'll fire off like a set timeout that will at random request the pointer lock. And then also release the pointer lock at random. Like this. So after they've clicked on the page once, within 10 seconds, well, in 10 seconds, let's just do in 2 seconds. That would be 2 minutes. In 2 seconds, request the pointer lock. And then 2 minutes or 2 seconds after that, we will release the pointer lock. Is it pointer capture? Exit pointer lock. Cool. This should do it. So now if I like click on the page at least once in 2 seconds, now I can't see my cursor at all because it has control of it. And then 2 seconds later, I should get it back. Am I getting it back? There we go. I got it back after 2 seconds. 2 seconds seems like a long time. Let's just see what happens if I do 1 second. Okay, so click the page. Now my pointer is gone. And then 1 second later, I guess I I don't get it back. The cursor is... I have to actually press escape for some reason. Um... I guess this is fine. The only issue is it turns on and then they basically can't turn it off unless they press escape. Okay. This piece of code isn't working. I don't know. Do I care? Because like the point of all of this is to just troll them. Though they could like force shut down their computer if they think something's really fishy is going on. Um, I think this is fine. And then I like the idea of like randomly moving a pointer on the page itself. Um, Now, set timeout runs once. Set interval repeats over and over again. Oh, call it on the document? Oh. Wait, what how did you how did you break the Yeah, it's running, Ched. That was a fake that was a fake notification. Yeah. Oh, you changed your image. Did something show up here in the drop game? Hello, Klaus Schreiner. Welcome in. Um It did like document.body. I'm going to put that back. We're trying to control the user's mouse from a rogue extension. Yeah, so basically, if you have this extension enabled, the page now takes control of the cursor, and I'm moving my cursor everywhere, and you literally can't even see it anywhere. You have to press escape to get it back. But what they're telling me is I should be able to do that. Let's try it here. So you need to at least click on the page, and then it'll happen. And then a second later, it did disappear. I think that did it. It keeps taking it back. It keeps... Oh, because every time they click on the page, every time they click, it re-adds it. I actually don't want that. I only want that to happen the first time. That's hilarious. But it's literally like they click, and then a second later, it captures it, and they're like, oh no, and then it releases it. And then if they click again, it captures it, and then a second later, it releases it. Okay. I like this behavior. I like this because it feels somewhat random. We're going to make it release control after 3 seconds. So you're here, you click. Oh no, they got control. I'm moving my mouse, nothing is happening. And then after 3 seconds, I get it back. Great. But let's say I click something else. It takes control again. This is what we want. This is it. And it's really annoying because like I can't even click out of this tab until those 3 seconds are up. Um, yeah, that's the one. Wikipedia has control of your pointer. It's extremely confusing because like the moment it happens, um, you're like, wait, what? You technically can press escape, and if you do, like, if someone reads the message, they'll press escape. Okay, this is fine. Honestly, I think this is good enough. We'll do that. This is our plugin. I know we wanted to do like move random mouse cursor, but I think this is fine. We're gonna move on to one of the. We're gonna move on to one of the other things. Um, oh, I need to put it in the README as well. Randomly hide mouse cursor and capture pointer. We'll just put it as that. Oh, nice, Chief Mustardo. Yeah, let me know whenever you make the pull request. Random focusing of input elements. It seems really aggravating. So, like, you're typing in one, and all of a sudden it loses focus and focuses another one. Um, cool. Just take a quick stretch. Ooh. Yeah, this is a continuation. Okay. That got pushed up. Let's see if we have any other pull requests. If we don't, I'll give you all a rundown of how all the code is set up, because I know somebody asked that earlier. Um, oh no, I forgot that it's enabled. I'm like, why can't I click? I can't click anywhere. I can't even see my cursor. Um, we will disable that like that. Yeah. Uh, Limeoats made a pull request. I don't know if they told me if they did that or not. Randomly repeat key presses. So it adds a key down event listener. And if it's a letter or a number, uppercase or lowercase, get a random value and add that to the input that they're typing into. 10% of the time. Cool, let's merge it. And then we can try it out. You can't dispatch events on an input field. I think it's totally fine. You possibly could have used that input IME thing we were looking at. This. But I'm okay with it just being a content plugin that just listens on key down. Totally fine, because you're getting event.target anyways. What's up, Muffin Cat? We are making a browser extension that will drive people crazy. It does things like makes the pages look blurry, randomly rickrolls them. The feature we just merged in will randomly insert key presses, random key presses when they're typing in input. So let's try it out. I couldn't load the on. That's fun. I mean, that's fine, but we should now have a setting for oh, I need to pull down the latest. Now we should have a setting for randomly repeat key presses. Hello world, how are you today? Oh, do I need to refresh? Hello world, how are you today? I am fine. Thank you for asking. That's so aggravating. Look at all those double key presses. Um, I love it. It's amazing. Thank you, Limeotes, for adding that. And that should work on literally any input. So, like, let's say you're on reddit.com. 10% felt like the sweet spot. Yeah, it's just random enough. You're like, is my keyboard broken? Is my keyboard broken? Or, I'm not. So, am I logged into Reddit? Who am I logged in as? Let me see. Give me a second. Oh yeah, that's fine. You all know who this user is. But like, let's say you were trying to reply on Reddit. It would happen in there too. So right here, if I say, this is a really cool post. Thank you for sharing. It's not working. Oh, you no, because you add the event listener on page load. So it should technically work. Like, even though I start typing here. It's not working. I think it only works for pages that are like dynamically added, but your code, it adds an event listener to the entire document. So regardless of where the key down is, if it's happening in an iframe, that would definitely prevent it. I don't think because it's a text area versus an input, because you're just doing the element target. And I believe text area has a value property just like an input does. Though I'm going to lint your file. Sorry. Let me add this. Could it be that Reddit is preventing the default and doing their own things? Yeah, actually, that might actually be it, because I know that Reddit is a React app, and it's possible that the event listener there is preventing anything else from happening. I mean, the other option is to select literally every input and text area on the page and add a key down listener to it, or a value change listener to it. This also could be that because they're using React, there's synthetic events that actually don't even listen to what the value is set as here. That's probably I'm going to say that's what's going on, and I'm not going to worry about it. Because it works over here. The quick brown. Oh, I typed backspace and it repeated backspace. I think we need to fix that. So I do backspace, backspace, backspace. Every now, if it decides to repeat it, it repeats the backspace. Yeah, so it repeated the backspace word. Oh, when you're Googling things too? Yeah, I guess it would work on DuckDuckGo too. Yeah, it worked. There's a couple of double repeats. So if you change your image, Stony Eagle, I think it'll take up to 30 minutes before my overlay even replaces it. I don't know. I need to do some debugging, honestly. And Code Moonshine, thanks for being here. Says, are you going on vacation till May? Yep. So if you didn't hear or didn't notice, this will be my last stream until mid-May. You're not going to hear from me for all of April. And this is not an April Fool's joke. That is actually a thing. Okay, totally fine. Let's work on another plugin. Let's do the randomly translate page. And actually, this should be easy enough because I think we'll just redirect to the Google Translate of it. Because it actually would be really hard to do the text replacement where you're literally translating each individual text node. But let's work on that one next. I think Google Translate has a way of translating a page. Like if I throw in, oh yeah, let's see what we get. If I want to translate everything to German here. Did this work? How do they do that? I think they literally replace the URL. I was hoping it would just be a question mark URL equals, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Auf Herz ist eine Programmiersprache, die neben HTML und CSS zu den Kerntechnologien des World Wide Web. Load the translated page in an iframe. Yeah, let's do that. But I do want to figure out how do you get to this page by literally by just like putting a URL on the end of it. Translate web page. Could use Bing. Yeah, we could figure out how to generate that URL. I'm gonna do what Ed is saying and look at the network request and see if it's actually, if we look at the network request of this page, it would definitely tell us because this is like a third-party website. Can't translate this page. So it makes a post request to their own backend, and then this is what I wanted. That's literally all I want because it actually replaces it with the URL there. So check it. If we make this a background script similar to the redirect Google to Bing, redirect to random translation. Let me just set all this up. Cool. So we're adding, before the page navigates, we add a listener for literally anything. I think if I don't pass anything in here, it'll work for every page. Maybe? Let's see. And if we just log the URL, and then we need to import this. Oh, I mean, I like your status, Tony. I don't think you broke it. It looks great. We'll import this in here. This will work in Chrome and Firefox. Cool. So now, if we reload the extension, when we are navigating to a new page, like this, we should see it, and we don't. So we actually do need the filter that we removed. I want to match anything. See if this works. Oh, it's not even enabled. Never mind. But let's see. Redirect to any page to a translated version. Let's see. So now that that is enabled, now before we go to any website, it should be logging, and it's not. What's up, Phoenix Rising? Yeah, thanks for being here. It's been a while. Yeah, so Firefox and Chrome use the same API so that extensions are cross-platform. Yeah. Well, I mean, the extension still it's working. You could technically download it right now. We're just adding more and more features to it throughout the day. I need to look up the web navigation documentation. So on before navigate is what we were using. Filters is a URL filter. Maybe I can't do star. I think this is what we want. Origin and path matches anything. I thought it was optional, but when I left it out, it wasn't working. But then it might be that it wasn't working because I hadn't enabled it yet. But let's see if this does it. Yeah, there we go. So now if I go to exploit, we should see that new URL logged. Yeah, that's really all I wanted. And then we can do this. Let's look back at how we were doing it here. This. So we literally update the URL to be this. Okay. Now, literally any web page we go to, it'll attempt to translate it. Well, I need to reload the extension. However, I'm not specifying what it should translate it to, so I think right now it's actually gonna, yeah, it's an infinite loop. If the URL starts with this, don't do it. Though, it did that thing Can't translate this page. Why not? Oh, it's trying to translate itself. This is going to be difficult because I think when it redirects, it goes to a different domain anyways. Recursion. So we could do something like, or is it all caps, URL? That ends with gook. If the host name doesn't end with .goog, and it doesn't start with translate.google.com. Well, what was happening earlier, what I showed is if you actually go to translate.google.com and you, yeah, this happens. Let me disable it for a second. So if you go here and you try to plug in this, so I'll show you. If I go here, the actual website it takes me to is translate.goog. With the URL and all special characters removed. So like all the dots turn into dashes and the slashes turn into dashes, but that's a subdomain. And then the path is the page itself. So that's why I was saying it does this weird thing. Like it's not just the URL. So I wanted to make sure that if it's taking us to this page, it doesn't try to redirect it again. Target language. Let's just make everything Japanese. Right? We could choose from a random list of words, but the issue was when we tried translating this to the BS language, it didn't work because I guess it couldn't find a translation. Let's see if this will work. Reload it. The abbreviation for the language was BS. Okay, so here, and actually if I enable this, it should do nothing because I'm on the translated page. Yeah, it should do nothing. Great. However, if we actually try to go to Wikipedia, it does the thing, but it breaks because it was trying to do like a DuckDuckGo redirect. So that's funny. I just want the actual URL for JavaScript. I mean, I guess technically we could just go here and see if it can translate that. Yeah. So, it redirected us, but it's not actually translating anything. I want this URL. I want to see what happens if we try to go here directly. Yeah. This is what I was expecting. Although, I think I got the language code wrong. Can we display none the top bar? Oh, nice, Stony Eagle. Like I believe you might be the first one to to break out of your little chat jail, and for that you get VIP'd. Congratulations. Um, wow, that's you did a thing. Yeah, great work. We'll fix that later. Um, Stony Eagle updated their status to be something that should not break out like that. Yeah, okay. Um, Hello, Jonas. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. I'm trying to figure out what the target language should even be. Uh, I guess it's not JP was probably wrong. JA is what we want. Okay. Need to reload the extension. And now if I try to go to Wikipedia, it converts it to Japanese. Great. This is what we want. And also I guess if you go to Google, oh okay. We don't want this either. Because it literally just tried to translate my new tab page. But we're going to have to update that for Chrome as well. Um, only do it. I like that better. If the schema is HTTP or HTTPS. Protocol? So that is if the protocol is HTTP or HTTPS. Like that. That's another way to do it. It should be fine. Reload. And now my new tab page works. That's great. Though, if you're like me and you use DuckDuckGo, this actually breaks because it tries to translate the page that you're going to. Like, I can't search Wikipedia anymore because that now. Oh, I guess. Oh, did I disable it? Um, it's enabled. It's loaded. I think protocol might be something else. Location.protocol. Oh, there's a colon on it. Okay. Now I should be able to demonstrate the other broken thing. So to test the extension, you need to clone the GitHub repo and then manually add it as an extension. So go there, and then in Firefox specifically, you go to Settings, Extensions, Click the settings icon, go to debug add-ons, and then load an add-on, and then choose that manifest.json in the extension folder. And then there's a similar way to do it in Google Chrome. Reload. Now converted all to TypeScript. No, I mean, that's the cool thing is there's no build process. It's all vanilla JavaScript. Yeah. So as you can see, this is now redirecting to duckduckgo-com.translate.google. And it's like I can't translate this page. So I kind of want to avoid this. So we could actually instead of making this a background. I mean, it is very trolly because like you literally can't use the web at all. I mean, unless you directly go to a web page, then it gets translated into Japanese, which is really funny. Yeah, so you have to go directly. Like what I wanted to demonstrate was like if you load some search results, when you click a search result, it would then load the translated version of that. But it's making me think that this actually shouldn't be a background script. It should just be a content script that redirects the page after it's already loaded. And it waits like a second because that way that would let all of the redirects happen. And then when you're finally on the page that you're trying to get to, then it does the translate redirect. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could ignore all of the search engine URLs, but then this if statement gets really complicated. What if the extension converts all JavaScript code into Java? Is there a library that'll do that for us? Change all of the URLs to link to the translated version. That actually would probably be the way to do it, yeah. I'm just gonna make it a content script. I mean, ultimately, this is what this little piece right here is all we need, and then we just do a window redirect. So here, I'm gonna move this into the content folder. And then now this is a content plugin. And now instead of doing this on before navigate thing, we're literally just going to wait after DOM content loaded and then do a thing. Or is it? I think it's window. So after the DOM content is loaded, we will wait 1 second and then do the redirect. I think I lost my code. I need the redirect URL. I need this. All right, try again. So, add an event listener for DOM content loaded. And then after the DOM content is loaded, we wait 1 second. And then we just redirect them. So window.location equals this. Changing on before navigate to on committed. No, because I still want a delay, because technically if they do, like if they've arrived on the DuckDuckGo short thingies, there's a couple of redirects that still need to happen, like the DuckDuckGo bang commands, which is why I actually want to wait for the page to be open for a few seconds. But I think we still need the if statement before we do the redirect. This is all going to be window.location. And I think, do we override href window.location.href? Yeah. every time the Discord notification goes off, everyone remembers that they're watching my stream. Okay, this should work. So now if I search Wikipedia for Discord, it should. Oh no, I need to reload the plugin. Reload the plugin. Everything's broken. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. So that gets loaded. If you look at the index, that's loaded from the content folder. Reload. Reload. It's not loading at all. Oh. Are those other things not on? I wonder if there's a way to check and see if the DOM content loaded event has already fired. Because it's possible that we're adding the event listener after DOM content has already loaded. Is there a... Is there a property on the document that tells me that it's loaded? Has loaded? Has focus. Ready state. Complete. I think that's what we want. So if document.ready state does not equal complete, then we listen for DOM content loaded. And all of this is just going to be a function called redirect. What's up, Katoli? Thanks for being here. Like this. All right. Now, refresh the page. After 1 second, it should redirect to the Japanese version. Great. I think we've done it. So now, if I search Wikipedia for Discord, I spelled it wrong, but we get there, and then after a second, then it takes us to the Japanese translation. That's the behavior that I wanted. Because also, check it out. If we enable redirect Google to Bing, that will work as intended as well. So now if I try to search Google for test, that redirects to Bing, and then we redirect to the translated version of Bing, which doesn't quite work. But we're still on the translated page. Can I change the language? Yeah, change it to Greek, maybe? Doesn't work at all. Well, that's fine. I'm not expecting all of our plugins to work well together. Okay, so now at this point, we kind of need a list of all of the possible languages, and then we'll redirect to a random one. Yeah, we need these data language codes. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. I have this element. We want to select every child div, and we're going to look for the data language code property. So find all the divs in that div, and for everyone, if that element has a dataset.language code property, we're going to push it into the codes array. I think it's that, is it data language code? So it should be camel case. I need a curly braces here. Cool. Now codes is an array of all of the possible language codes. Why is all that escaping? It's fine. I will just replace all of these. Copy? I've never used that before. Let me see. Thank you, Pranjal. Let me try it. I've literally never used that. Nice. 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 Thank you for that, Pranjal. I'm gonna remove English. That's actually extremely useful because I'm copying stuff from the console all the time. Okay, I'm gonna remove English, so that's not an option. And then instead of redirecting to Japanese every time, we're gonna redirect to a random one of math.random times this.codes.length, and then that whole thing is here, like that. So the target language is now a random language code. Okay, this should do it. So now we get completely random translation as well. So say I search Wikipedia for copy paste. Wikipedia loads. 1 second later, everything breaks. Oh, no, there you go. There's the redirect. Or no. It's just this.codes.length. However, it's not loading at all. It should reload automatically. I shouldn't have to manually reload the extension, but we'll do it. Reload. Everything reloaded. Oh, all of my pages are redirecting to the translated version. Yeah, that's the issue. Um, in this case, it translated to Slovak. If I search Wikipedia for copy paste, let's see what happens. It converts to Javanese. What is Javanese? I've never heard of that language. And hello, Fresh Natural. Your first message was read because that's the first message you've ever sent in this channel. Welcome in. Anybody heard of Javanese before or Javanese? What's up, Voice of Krog? Or are you saying yes, you've heard of Javanese before? Am I going to remove the translate header? No, I think I'll leave it there. Because if anything, someone's just going to be really confused and be like, why is everything being translated? Versus like trying to hide the fact that it's being translated. Japanese, but with Lisp. Let's search Wikipedia for Twitch. Sudanese. It got translated to Sudanese. I'm okay with this behavior. I like this. Because if we search DuckDuckGo for like the word test, let's see if this gets translated. It's not redirecting. Why not? Yeah, you're right, Strider 8. It's fine. It works for some websites. Like, I mean, what's a common? I mean, it should work for Reddit now. Yeah, if we go to r/JavaScript, that after 1 second should get translated. It's not. It's not working. Or not. Yeah, or not. Oh, that worked. I don't know why they're not working to begin with. And a second later, do the redirect? I wonder if it has to do with what we're doing right here. Like if the ready state is not complete, wait for DOM content loaded. It's close enough. I agree. I completely agree. I'm going to update the README. We'll go from there. So this, we got the focus random inputs one from Limeotes. And we also have redirect to a random translation. Cool. Oh, you're right. You're right. Randomly insert extra key presses. Is that one here or is that one of the issues? Limeotes didn't do that. Sorry, Chief Mustardo. No. I wrote the wrong thing. That's what I was thinking of. Limeotes did insert random key presses. Yeah, I just got them confused. Oh, thank you, Torafun. Okay. I think I'm going to review the pull requests and then I'm going to call it there just because I'm hungry and kind of tired. All these random pages we have open that got redirected to their translation. So first of all, I need to disable a lot of these. I need to disable that, that, and that. And now I should be able to go to chat at least. Cool. Let's go to the GitHub repo. Best answer ever because I'm hungry. Yeah, and this is a reminder. I think I saw some people asking about it earlier, but I might have missed it. This is going to be my last stream until mid-May, so I'm going to take a long break from streaming and other things. I'm actually going to do a lot of planning. Basically, I'm going to come back mid-May, and Coding Garden is going to be better than ever. I hope anyways. Let's see what Lord Smurf has done. Random element focus. Content plugin will focus on random focusable fields at intervals varying from 1 to 5 minutes. Thank you, Limotes. I appreciate that. Even better. Yeah, and probably, honestly, more often. The likely occurrence is going to be that when I come back, I'll be streaming more than once a week. That's... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Focus and scroll to random elements on the page. Find all the elements, choose a random one, focus it, and scroll it into view. I love it. Okay, yeah, let's merge it in. Yeah, no worries, Risk. Yeah, just for those of you just finding me today, be sure to drop a follow. I literally never ask anyone to follow. But if you want to hear from me again, drop a follow so that when I go live in a month and a half, you'll be notified. I have to figure out how to tell my girlfriend we'll be streaming more than once a week. Yeah, I think it's gonna be unfortunate for people that really like tuning in. It's gonna be one of those things where you kind of have to pick your days. So update master, what? Okay, I'll update that. Thank you, Acid Spark. So do any of these issues need to be closed? No. But key down event handler that repeats letters every so often. That's the one that we need to remove. Okay, I'll update the README. Well, we are not deleting highlighted text. Oh, thank you, Risk. Am I saying that right? Appreciate your sub. Random element focus. You know, I should probably set up GitHub Actions to check your linting, but it's fine. I can fix it right now. Who uses? I mean, I use linter, and there is a linter file in the root of the project. Okay. Code is pushed. Page is refreshed. Did I forget anything? Can I give up linting for lint? You mean like take a break from linting? Yes. Of course. Yeah, the answer is yes. All right. I missed it, but somebody in the chat told me there's an issue that I should close. I like that idea, Strategy. You open a pull request on a repo where you've just destroyed the formatting. Like you've inserted lots of extra tabs and yeah, that actually would be really funny. Okay, let's see. Set cursor to none for some seconds every hour. Yeah, we did this. We did it, and it's actually like really annoying. And I'll show you how we did it, because we set it up so that the entire page steals the cursor. So you see that notification. However, I can't, you'll notice once it pops up, I can't move my mouse even outside of the browser. Like, it's literally locked to the page completely, which is pretty cool. And is there a random? Yes, we got the random auto translate. Also, I think a lot of these where we say we should do it randomly actually don't occur randomly. We are redirecting any page to a random translation. It's not happening on a random occurrence. And this this is really messing with me. Okay. Cool. And thank you, Estanix. I appreciate the kind words. She says, please have a relaxing, meandering, stress-free holiday. Hope it helps your rest. Thank you. Appreciate that. What random scrolly thing? Oh, the focusing random inputs. Yeah, let's do it. We need a page that has multiple inputs. Example, sign up for. We need a page with just a bunch of inputs on it. Yeah, can you link me the test page, Chief Mustardo? We basically need a page that has inputs all over the place. Could you put it in a gist? Just go to gist.github.com. Paste it. Send it. Oh, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, sorry to ask Chief Mustardo, but I could literally just go to like a CSS framework example that has a bunch of inputs on the page. Like, look at all these inputs. And then, like, there's example forms too. Cool. This is what we'll use. Focus and scroll to random elements on the page. So I'll check that. And then just wait for it to happen. Because at some point, it should do it. Oh, add unread notifications. I like that. You should open that as an issue. But I think we can do that because we have the Chrome extension with the extensions API lets you modify the tabs. So a plugin that adds random sleep to every HTTP request. That is evil. that's really bad. We have to wait 1 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'll leave that page open, and eventually it should scroll. But do we have a new pull request? Okay, and there's the random yawn. I forgot we had that turned on, but every so often there'll be just a random yawn in the background. Cool. Awaited. You should make a pull request. I'm not. I won't wait for it now because I am gonna end stream. But I will absolutely merge that because, like, I guess are you intercepting? Are you like replacing fetch on the page, or replacing XML HTTP requests? I guess you actually could use the extensions API to intercept network requests, like an ad blocker does. But that would be really evil because literally every website you visit, any request that's happening will be like randomly delayed. You probably could break some web pages that like aren't coded correctly. Yeah, so that would do it. that literally will work on any request that's happening in the browser. That's funny. Definitely open that as a pull request and I'll merge it in. All right, before I go, I'm going to give a quick rundown of everything I just did today, and hopefully I can edit this into a YouTube video and upload it later today because it is April Fool's Day. Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Today we built a thing. So it is April Fool's Day, and we have been working on Troll Garden. So this is a browser extension with anti-features that will drive users clinically insane. So the idea here is these are various features you can enable that will do things that are just weird enough that people might think they're going crazy. So things like play a Discord notification at a random interval. So we have that here, we have that enabled, and every 7 to 10 minutes you just hear a Discord notification. Same thing with the Slack notification, same thing with you hear a random person yawning. We also have this one, redirect Google search results to Bing. So if I search Google for JavaScript, it will actually take me to Bing instead. What else do we have? We have this one's very evil. Add a 1 pixel blur to the page. So any website you visit, it just gets slightly blurred. Just blurred enough to where you don't know if you need to put your glasses on or you don't know if something's going on there. So that's fun. What else do we got? Oh yeah, adds a dead pixel to the page. Anyone in chat, let me know if you spot it, but somewhere on the page, there's going to be either a red, green, or blue pixel. I actually can't tell because my screen's kind of dirty, but it should be somewhere. Does anybody see it? Middle left. There it is. Is that it? I'm literally scratching my screen. I don't know if it's there or not. It's top right? Middle of screen, kind of top. Oh, there it is. It's tiny. Wait, is that it? No, it's this right here. There's just like a tiny little pixel. And every time you load any page, it shows up in a random location. Might actually be easier to spot on a dark background. Oh yeah, there it is. See that little red pixel right there. What else is there? Oh yeah, this hide cursor one is pretty evil. So we're using, I forget what it's called. It is, request pointer lock. Yeah, and Philippe was the one that introduced us to it. It's really crazy. So check it out. So if you enable this, hide cursor randomly, basically what we do is we detect the first mouse click, and then after a second, we grab control of the user's cursor for 1 second. So you saw that little pop-up? That's actually like a browser API. And so like if I click after a second, it pops up. But look, I'm moving my mouse like crazy. I can't see it anywhere on my screen. I can't even see it if it tries to go outside of the browser itself, which is very aggravating. Yeah, and then I'll show that one last, and then I'll show you how the code is all structured. Redirect any page to a translated version of that page. So for example, you can see every single one of these pages just redirected. So we now have GitHub that is has been translated to Hosa. I've never heard of that language, or Xhosa. Bootswatch got translated. For some reason, Bing search results don't get translated. That could just be an issue where Google doesn't want to do things that are on Bing URLs. And then Twitch chat can't be translated. So sometimes you run into this issue, but it's pretty funny. Cool. So you can either enable or disable these, and the idea is you would like install this on maybe your partner or your friend's laptop, and then after a few hours you let them know and you tell them it was a joke. I forgot to say this at the beginning, but this absolutely is for educational and fun purposes only. You should not do malicious things with this extension. It should just be things that don't harm anyone or steal anyone's information, but are subtly funny and you can use to prank them. Cool. So that's all the stuff. Let's do a quick rundown of the code. to show you how it all works. So basically, this is set up as a extension. And this extension will actually work in Firefox and in Chrome because they support the same API. And we set up a manifest.json. So this is the settings for all of the extension. We specified any permissions we might need. So like web navigation is used for like the Google to Bing redirect. The tabs navigation is used for that as well because it replaces the URL in a given tab. We're using storage to keep track of the settings of whether things are enabled or disabled. And then there are a couple of different things. So we have a background page, and that's the thing that loads the stuff that's always running in the background. So like the Discord, random Discord notification or the random Slack notification, it loads those up. And then we have everything categorized into plugins. So if you go into the plugins folder, there's either content or background. And each one of those plugins I was showing you is just a simple file that does the thing. So this is an easy one to look at. It's called Comic Sans, and it changes the font on every page to Comic Sans. And every plugin will have a run function and a cleanup function. So the run function does the thing. So in this case, it changes the font. And then if it were to turn off, it needs to clean up so it can remove that font. Whereas background plugins can do things like set an interval or set a timeout. So you can see that this one sets an interval to run every number of minutes in between 5 and 11 minutes. It'll rerun this to play a Discord notification, but basically this gets fired off once and it's always running in the background. And that's basically it. So each one of those extensions is loaded into this file, which creates an instance of every one of those plugins. And then we have a menu that iterates over those plugins to like show the settings. So this actually pulls in that list of plugins, and then for every one, it shows a toggle setting in the menu pop-up. So that's the extension. If you would like to add new plugins for it, feel free to open a pull request. We actually have a pull request. What does this one do? This one does random charities. So whenever you click a link, it will take you to a random charity, which is fun. It's actually a pretty wholesome feature. But if you have ideas for things, you can open it up as an issue. If you want to just implement it, feel free to open a pull request, or just download this thing and troll your friends. So thanks for watching. Happy April Fool's Day, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's gonna be a YouTube video. I'm done. I'm tired. There was a random Discord notification. I'm going to turn all this stuff off. I've been live for almost 4 hours, but for those of you that didn't hear, this is it. This is my last live stream, at least for the next month or so. Oh yeah, and Philippe, no worries. Yeah, I didn't want to answer it in the middle of the YouTube video thing, but it is on the frequently asked questions, and there's a full explanation. And Clarkio, welcome. Thank you for the raid. I'm actually about to end, but I'll show you what we were working on, and then we can continue the raid train. We'll take you somewhere nice. Here. And also I'll teach you about this. And thank you for the 21-month resub. Thank you, Clarkio. All my tabs are messed up because of the thing that we were working on. And I'll explain that in a second. Where was I? Here. Yes. So, you may have noticed that throughout the stream, I've been doing things, and all the time I do things like !W. And that actually searches Wikipedia for the thing that I just typed in. That is known as bang command. So DuckDuckGo is my default search engine, and then it has a bunch of these bang commands built in. And so because DuckDuckGo is my default search engine, I can do all that stuff. Yeah, thank you, Clarkio. Shout out to our friend Clarkio. Definitely go check him out. Drop a follow. And happy April Fool's Day to all of you that have just joined us. Today we worked on Troll Garden, which is a Chrome extension with a bunch of anti-features. So we have things like, if you enable it, it will blur the page over 5 seconds. So it's subtle, You may not see it exactly, but the page is like slightly blurry. So the idea is you can install this on a friend's uh, in a friend's browser and then troll them. Uh, so you can do things like that. You could also replace common replace words with misspellings. So as you can see now, everything has like misspelling. So instead of the, it's like there. Instead of notification, like the O and the N are swapped. Instead of Comic Sans, instead of every. So um, yeah, lots of lots of fun little stuff like that. Um, what's another one I can do? Oh yeah, setting everything to Comic Sans is pretty fun. Um, like this. Though it doesn't replace it in some places, but for most places it replaced the text. And then also these are really naughty. Well, not naughty. I mean they'll drive you crazy. Play a random Discord notification or a random Slack notification. So that's just enabled in the background, and then once every like 7 to 11 minutes, it'll play a Discord notification in the background as if you actually had a Discord notification, even though you don't. Um, so the idea is there you can install this on someone's computer to like really troll them. It's evil, yeah. Okay. But like I said, I'm actually headed out, and this actually is my my last live stream, at least for the next month and a half. And this now is not an April Fool's joke. I'm taking a break. I'm gonna refresh. And what I said earlier is that when I do come back in mid-May or so, I probably will be streaming more than just once a week. Because right now, and for the past like year, I've just been streaming once every Friday. So it's highly likely, like 80% probability that when I come back in mid-May, it'll be more than just every Friday stream. Cool. But you all are great. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Happy April Fool's Day. Go prank some people. And all that. Yeah, and thank you, Clarkio. Appreciate it. Did I miss any other supports? I think I called those out earlier. Yeah, and you're very welcome, Pranjal. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. You're all great. Let's go on a raid. We actually do have a new raid emote. It's a work in progress. This coding garden raid. Because my emote designer is trying to figure out how to make the word raid legible, even when it's in a smaller emote. But we're going to do a raid. If you're a sub, feel free to use that raid emote. And then we also have a raid message you can use, this one. And if you're a non-sub, you can just use regular plain old emojis like that. All right, appreciate you all. And yeah, see you in like a month and a half, wherever you are in the world. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.